welcome to this week's edition of MatchMaker. I'm your hostess, Kathy McDonald, and this week we're celebrating the 50s with our first date, Denise. Denise's interests are listening to music, roller skating, and watching nice-looking men. She likes men who have positive attitudes about themselves. Hi, Denise, and welcome to the show.
Hi.
Well, now let's hear a little something from the guys. Okay, number one, would you please say hello to Denise?
How you doing, Denise?
Number two, would you please say hi to Denise?
Hi, Denise.
And number three, would you please say hi to Denise?
How's it hanging out, Denise?
Hanging all right.
Okay, well, I'll let you take it away from here with some questions, okay?
Okay. Hi. Number one, I like people who do things that are out of the norm. So what's your favorite non-conformist thing to do?
I don't know, I suppose Jello baths.
Ooh, that's interesting. Number two, could you answer that same question?
Sunbathing in a snowstorm.
Oh, okay. Number three, if you could be anyone in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh, I'd be a rapist, I guess.
Why?
Because it has certain things you can't just get out of normal life.
Oh,
It's interesting.
okay.
You're sick.
Number one, if you could be anyone in the world, who would you want to be?
I don't know. Lemmy Kilmeister.
Excuse me?
Lemmy Kilmeister.
Okay, I'll pass on that one. Number two, my motto is sworn to fun, loyal to none. Do you have a motto? Motto, excuse me.
Motto. Let's see here. I say, live to ride, ride to live.
Okay, thank you. Number three, if I was to get a tattoo, where would you want it to be and why?
Can you say that again?
If I were to get a tattoo, what would you want it to be? Where and why?
Oh, what kind of tattoo, huh?
Yeah,
A lion
yeah.
right above your belly button.
Oh, why?
Because it would signify how ferocious you are.
Oh, okay. I like that. Number one, if you had only one day to live, what would you want to do in that time?
Party and have as much sex as I could fit into 24 hours.
Okay. Oh. Number two,
Same question?
if you only had one day to live, what would you want to do in that time?
Let me see. Guess I'd play basketball.
Play basketball? Okay. I like basketball. Okay. Number three, if you only had one day to live,
What would
would
I
you
do?
Yeah.
I'd crank out the Who and get totally blitzed.
All right. Number one, what's your favorite first name of opposite sex and why?
Sandy.
You don't have to answer why, that's okay. Number two, if I was from outer space, what would be the first thing that you would teach me?
First thing I'd teach you. I'd say, basketball.
Okay, number three, if I were from outer space, what would be the first thing you'd teach me?
To read, write, so I could communicate with you.
Oh, that's nice. Do you know anything about body language?
Not really.
That's okay, it's something I could teach you.
Ooh.
Number one, I think dreams say a lot about a person. Could you tell me your most memorable dream?
No.
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
No, I think I'll pass.
Okay. Number 1, could you tell me your most memorable dream?
You can go ahead and take this one, Jack. Jack wants to answer.
No names, please.
Number 2.
Hey, number 1.
I don't know, fly fishing in the South Pacific.
Okay. Number 1, I love poetry. So can you finish this poem for me? Roses are red, violets are blue.
Sugar is sweet and so are you.
Oh, I like that. That's nice. Aw. Number 2, could you finish that? Roses are red, violets are blue.
Let me see. Took the sugar. Roses are red, violets are blue. It's a trick question, this. And you're just as sweet as sugar, too.
Okay. And number 3.
And that is why I love you.
Oh, well, that's nice. I love you too. Number 3. They say that guys like girls who are something like their mom. How can I be like your mom?
How can you be more like my mom?
Yeah.
Like the girls I bring home. To let her like the girls I bring home.
Oh. Well, I don't really want to be like your mom, but okay. Number 3. Could you answer that? How can I be like your mom? Oh, number 1.
Can you cook?
Oh, I can cook. What kind of foods do you like? Number 1.
Anything hot, really.
You like spaghetti? I'm Italian.
Good enough.
Oh, okay. Okay. Number 2. If your house went on fire, what would be the first 3 things that you would try to save besides people?
Let's see. I'd try to save a basketball. I'd save some of my pictures and maybe soda too.
Okay. Number 3. Me and my friends have a lot of private jokes between us. Tell me a private joke that you and your friends share.
Tell me a private joke. Oh, okay. A private joke. I don't have a private joke.
Okay. Number 1. Do you have any private jokes you can tell me?
No.
Okay, that's fine too. Number 1. It really turns me on. I like to get into fights, so pick a fight with me.
Keep it nice.
Okay, don't you ever take a shower and smell your hair?
Okay, I'll pass that fight. Oh, wow. Number 3. Would you like to pick a fight with me?
Yeah, shave your face, you're growing a beard.
Okay, number 2. Give me a good fight.
All right.
Let me play basketball.
And nothing about basketball.
Took my basketball.
Oh, wow. I don't want to fight with you guys here too much. What animal best describes you, number 1?
A bear.
A bear? Why is that? Are you
Big and
grizzly?
nasty.
What was that?
I'm big and nasty.
Ooh. Number 2, what animal best describes you?
Squirrel.
I'd say
Squirrel.
I'd say a rat with a fuzzy tail.
Okay. Number 3, what animal best describes you?
Pussycat.
Well, I didn't hear his answer.
Pussycat.
Oh,
Oh, an ape? Okay, I'm an ape. Yeah.
okay. Number 2, what would you rather do than study and play basketball?
Study and play basketball. I'd say go to the movies.
Go to the movies? What's one of your favorite movies, number 2?
Number 2, right? I'd say
Okay.
fast break.
What?
Fast break.
Oh, because it's basketball. Okay.
Okay, Denise, your time's up, and it's time to be thinking about who you're going to choose. Will it be number 1, number 2, or number 3? We'll be right back in a moment to find out Denise's decision. Okay, we're back on Matchmaker, and we're waiting to find out Denise's choice. Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3, Denise?
Well, after a lot of decision, I decided to pick number 1.
And can you tell us why you picked number 1?
I like the part about the grizzly bear.
Okay. Okay, well now let's meet Denise's 2 other men that she didn't pick. Okay, our first one is Jack Losh, whose pastimes are baseball, football, and ping pong, and he likes American politics. Come on over, Jack.
I knew it was you the whole time.
Okay.
Thanks for being on the show. Okay, our second guy is Scott Gary, whose hobbies are sports, mud wrestling with girls, and he lives in Elmer and he's into whipped cream.
Oh, hi.
Thanks for being on the show. Okay. And your lucky date is Joe Reed.
I know him too. I'm supposed to stand up.
He's one hell of a fun guy who enjoys parking and having a good time. Stay right there. Congratulations to you both, and I'm sure you'll have a good time at next week's feature of Duck Soup at McGill Hall, room 202. Thank you for joining us for this half of Matchmaker, and join us for the second half of Matchmaker in just a second. Hi, and welcome back to the second half of Matchmaker. We have here Bob as our second date. He's from Albion, New York. He's a senior at Fredonia State. His hobbies include football, relaxing on the beach, listening to music, and watching beautiful girls. Hi, Bob, and welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. All right, well, let's now hear a little something from the ladies. Okay, number 1, would you please say hi to Bob?
Hi, Bob.
Number 2, would you please say hello to Bob?
Hi, Bob.
And number 3, would you please say hi to Bob?
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Okay, Bob, I'll let you take it away from here with questions.
All right, thank you. All right, question number 1. This is to number 1. If I was from outer space, what would be the first thing that you would teach me?
Body language.
Can you tell me why?
Because it's fun.
Ooh, okay. Number 2, what is your favorite first name of the opposite sex and why?
Jamie.
Can you tell me why?
It's a favorite name of mine.
All right. Number 3, if you had only one day to live, what would you do in that time?
I think I would do as much as I could of anything I wanted to do. Indulge in anything I wanted to.
Can you give me any details?
I don't think I better.
Question number 1, same question?
I'd like to do something out of the ordinary.
And what would that be?
Going away from people and being with somebody that's special.
Number 2, can you answer that?
I would try to do as much as I could in one day, and I would take someone really special with me wherever I went.
Sounds good. If I was to get a tattoo, what would you want it to be? Where would it be and why? Number 1?
I think I'd want it on your right hip. And so it's like hidden when you're wearing clothes, but when you're with somebody special, it's there.
What would you like it to be?
Probably a tiger.
Okay, number 3, could you answer that?
I think I'd rather have it be right in the middle of your chest and have it be the Tasmanian devil.
Ooh, sounds good. Number 2, same question?
I think a lion right on your stomach above the belly button.
Why would you want it there?
Because it wouldn't show until you open your shirt completely.
All right, number 3. I'm a half hour late to pick you up for our date. Would you, A, go out with me, B, put on your bathrobe and watch TV, or C, call up another guy?
That depends on what you had in mind for the date. If it was going to be just a movie, maybe I would stay home. But if it was something out of the ordinary, I might think about it again.
Number 1, could you answer that?
It depended on why you were late, and it would depend on what you were doing, what we were doing. But if it was a good excuse, I don't think I'd be too upset, and I'd still go.
Okay. Number 2, if you were asked to pose nude for a photographer, would you slap his face, take it as a compliment and gently turn him down, take off your clothes and start a photo session? D, ignore him, or E, call up Vanessa Williams for advice?
B, I think.
You take it as a compliment
Yeah.
and turn it down? Why?
I don't know, because it would have to be something special for me to do. I don't think I would do it just because, I take my clothes off for somebody or something.
Number 3, could you answer that?
Can you give me the choices again?
Okay. If you were going to pose nude for a photographer, would you slap his face,
No.
take it as a compliment, or turn him down? Take off your clothes and start the photo session, ignore him, or call up Vanessa Williams?
None of the above.
Oh, what would you do?
I think I would have to think about it before I answered any of those questions.
Okay. Number 1, you were at a party with a guy you like but aren't infatuated with him, and a guy you had a wild crush on walks in and is hanging out with your friends. Would you stay with the guy you came with, dump him and try to meet the other guy? Or C, try to string them both along?
I'd stay with the guy I came with and maybe talk to him.
Number 3, I'm really into music, so if you were to play a song on the radio that described you, what would it be? She's a sexy girl, hot legs, too shy, but a lady is a tramp.
I think I'd have to say the first one, first choice.
She's a sexy girl?
Yeah.
Number 1, could you answer that?
Could you give me the choices again?
She's a sexy girl, hot legs, too shy, or the lady is a tramp.
B,
Hot legs.
hot legs.
Number 1, could you answer that?
I just did.
Oh, that one. All right, number 2.
What were the choices again?
She's a sexy girl, hot legs, too shy, or the lady is a tramp.
2.
Number 2. Okay. Number 3. Would you rather get which would you rather get as a present? A handful of wildflowers, a stuffed animal, or a sweater?
A stuffed animal so I could cuddle it and remember the person who gave it to me.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay, number 1, could you answer that?
I think I'd like wildflowers because they're pretty. They're thoughtful.
Okay. All right. Number 2, if you were alone at an X-rated movie and you saw with me and with my friends, would you hide your face and hope I didn't see you? B, say hi and act like I didn't know it was X-rated? C, run out of the theater as soon as you notice me? Or D, sit down with me and my friends to enjoy the show?
D.
Sounds good. 3, could you answer that?
I think I'd sit down and watch it too.
Number 1?
I think I would too.
Good deal. Sounds like a bunch of friendly girls over there.
Great.
Okay, number 1. Sometimes for a change of pace, I like to make prank phone calls. Tell me your best prank phone call that you ever got.
Best prank phone call I ever got?
Yes.
I think it'd have to be a friend of mine that called up and just would beat on the phone every night about 2 in the morning. It was scary, but it was funny after a while.
Number 1. If you saw Tom Selleck walking down the street, would you become hot and bothered, attack, start crying and screaming, or just walk away?
What was not the first one?
Become hot and bothered?
Hot and what?
Hot and bothered?
Probably number 1.
Number 2, could you answer that?
Number 2.
Attack?
What?
They say, okay, number 1, they say life's a bowl of cherries and sometimes you hit the pits. What gets you out of the pits?
All sorts of things that you do with somebody special.
Can you go into any details?
You have to use your imagination.
Oh, okay. All right. Number 3, I like people who do things out of the norm. So what is your favorite nonconformist thing to do?
I would have to say not basketball. I think it would have to be mud wrestling,
Mud wrestling.
but only a substitute Jello instead of mud.
I see. Why Jello?
Oh, because it's not dirty and it slides around a lot better.
Number 2, what's your favorite pastime?
Favorite pastime? Taking a walk with someone who I care about in the woods.
Where?
Oh, in the woods.
Oh. Number 1, what car best describes you and why?
What car best describes me?
Yes.
I think a Porsche because it's fast and wild.
Look out.
Number 2, could you answer that?
A limo.
A limo. Is that because you have a lot of class?
Yep.
Number 3,
I'd have to say sleek convertible,
I see.
so you can put the top down.
Ooh.
Okay. Number 1, If number two was hired at a job at this college, what position would they hold? Dorm director, public safety officer, piano tuner?
I don't know if she'd fit any of those jobs. If any, probably drone director.
Could you tell me why?
Pardon?
Could you tell me why?
Because she's really bubbly and friendly.
That's nice.
Okay, Bob, your time's up, and it's time to be thinking about who you will choose. Will it be number 1, number 2, or number 3? Okay, we'll be right back in a moment to find out who Bob chooses. We're back on Matchmaker, and it's time now for Bob to make his decision. Is it number 1, number 2, or number 3, Bob?
Chose number 1.
Okay, and can you tell us why you chose number 1 over the others?
I like some of the answers she gave us, and it's kind of quiet about it. I like the quiet.
Okay, that's good. Okay, well, let's meet the 2 other ladies who you didn't choose. Our first is Maria Gentile. She enjoys singing, piano playing, and having a good time with her date.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for being on the show. Okay, and our second lady is Daphne Sheldon. Her interests include music, sports, and having a good time.
Hi.
Okay, and your date is Allison Frett. She likes riding horses, sexy guys, and ice cream.
Okay.
Congratulations to you both, and I'm sure you two will have a good time at the movie this week, Duck Soup. Thanks a lot for being on the show, and thank you for joining us on Matchmaker this week. Stay tuned and join us again next week.